Nelson Mandela, the man who walked free and changed the world. The sun rose over the rolling hills of the Transkei, painting the land gold. In a small village called Mvizo on July 18, 1918, a boy was born, Ralilala, a name meaning troublemaker. No one knew that this child, named Nelson by a schoolteacher, would grow to trouble one of the most oppressive systems in human history, and win. Ralilala Mandela grew up in a world where skin color was destiny. The land was beautiful but the laws were cruel. In South Africa, the system of apartheid was taking shape, a world where black South Africans were told where they could live, work, and even who they could love. But Mandela's childhood was not yet darkened by this fully. He herded cattle, listened to stories of brave warriors, and dreamed of a life beyond the horizon. Education became his escape. In school, he learned English history and African pride, and at the University of Fort Hare, he was introduced to politics. It was there that the fire began to burn, when he realized that his people's chains were not made of steel but of laws. Johannesburg in the 1940s was a city of gold, but for black South Africans, it was also a city of shadows. Mandela became a young lawyer defending those crushed by unjust laws. He joined the African National Congress, not as a politician but as a fighter, though at first, a fighter of words. The ANC began peaceful protests, strikes, and boycotts. But the government's answer was violence. Bullets at Sharpeville in 1960, where 69 unarmed protesters were killed, was a turning point. Mandela and his comrades decided they could no longer fight with words alone. They formed Umkhonto we Sizwe, the Spear of the Nation, an armed wing of the ANC. Their mission was sabotage, to strike at the government structures, never at civilians. But the government struck back. In 1962, Mandela was captured. He would never see freedom again for the next 27 years. Mandela's prison was not a cell, it was an island, Robben Island. The walls were cold, the work was hard, the food was poor. Guards tried to break him but they failed. His spirit became stronger than the bars around him. For years, the world forgot his face, photographs of him were banned in South Africa. But his name became a whisper, then a chant, then a roar heard across continents. Free Nelson Mandela became the song of the oppressed. Pressure grew. The world demanded change. And at last, on February 11, 1990, the prison gates opened. An older, grayer Mandela walked out, hand in hand with his wife, Winnie. He did not call for revenge. He called for peace. "Let us build a nation together," he said. The man who entered prison as a revolutionary walked out as a peacemaker. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections. Nelson Mandela became the first black president of his country. The nation that once jailed him now called him Madiba, Father of the Nation. He served only one term, stepping down in 1999. But his legacy? It still walks among us, in every fight for justice, in every peaceful protest, in every voice that says, "No more." Nelson Mandela once said, "I never lose. I either win or learn." His life was proof that even in the darkest prison, the human spirit can remain free. If this story inspired you, join us at History Vault as we uncover more tales of courage, resilience, and the human spirit. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and share this video with someone who believes in the power of change. Because history is our greatest teacher.